This is KUGAN CASSIUS for Rifle TV in association with MTK Global. We're in Las Vegas here. Fight week. First interview of the week. Who else is it going to be?
I don't know, man. All I know is I stole some of the gummy candies from the Sky Sports office. I'm a sucker for gummy candies.
If anyone wants to send you any gummy candies to the hotel here, feel free.
I love gummy candies.
I know we spoke the other day for 20 minutes, and it's Mayweather McGREGOR week. You've been a subplot in this for quite a long time.
It wasn't even my choice. I mean, I was like, it just made me the subplot. It was like they gave me a starring role.
It really has got people talking, and regardless of you know what you said the other day about from Dana White releasing the footage and the photos, but it has got people talking. This sparring session where we've only really seen a very, very, very small amount of it.
I think you'll only see clips of Conor doing well for their own sake. I think you'll only ever see clips of Conor doing well. They've got 14 cameras they recorded on, which I had no idea there was so many cameras. You can change edit footage. You can do whatever you want. So you'll only see that side of it.
I mean, fight week. Obviously, you've got a job to do this week because you're doing
sure do, pal.
various
sure do.
punditries and commentaries. So, but as the week obviously starts today, from tomorrow with the grand arrivals, how's the mood around Vegas at the moment with this?
I think there's a big anticipation. I really think this is a fight people have been waiting for to talk about and whatnot. So I think everybody's excited.
Some random people.
Yeah, well, it is Vegas. You got a lot of Vegas. And you love the.
Yeah, we'll just let them pass.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was just like, I can't even.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we were there too long, but it's right now.
You know, one of the favorite parts about people is, you ever notice like people having a private conversation where they want everybody else to hear it?
Yeah.
Like, is there a reason to talk that loud? Ever been on like the tube or the train or whatnot, and the one person's talking so loud that everybody in the whole car can hear him? Why do you need to talk that loud? It's just among you. Just
that happens in the lift. When you're in the lift, there's no reason to have a conversation in the lift, is there? But some people have to.
But even if I am, I'm trying to keep it so quiet. Like, I don't want to disturb other people. Like, I never understand why everybody has to hear your conversation.
Paulie, just obviously following on from our conversation last week, what's the kind of public perception been on your social media towards that footage that was released? What have people been saying to you? How have they
listen,
taken
most people are not going to watch it slowed down and broken down and whatnot. And most people are going to want to believe what they want to believe. So, from that perspective, yeah, I think most people believe what they want to believe, and they want to believe it's a knockdown. So they want to believe, what it is. I can physically show somebody how that came about. I can't do it over social media, but I can physically, if you give me a volunteer, can show you how things go, Just like I break down all kind of tactics in general, I can break down the reason why it went down and the reason why it wasn't a punch. But you can still do that, and you're still going to have people that are going to believe what they want to believe, Listen, you got 20 seconds of footage, if that, right? You have 36 minutes of boxing. You couldn't find me 30 seconds running concurrently if you did so well. If you did this concussion beating type of sparring to me, you couldn't find me 30 seconds running concurrently in 36 minutes. Just concurrently. Forget about editing. You don't need to edit. You shouldn't need to edit if in 36 minutes you gave a beating. You should be able to find one 30-second clip where it ran straight through without edits. All they've tried to do is give edits. All they've tried to do is constantly put out edits. They've even tried to give Showtime edited footage. Show me one 30-second clip where you dominated. That's all. You don't have one. So all the people at home are going to feel like a bunch of suckers at the end of the day.
From the other day as well, obviously, you made some comments that, judging on what happens in this fight between Floyd and Conor, if there's an option for you to come out of retirement to fight Conor. But listening to you talk on the Facebook Live there with Sky, you seem like you're sort of, as we say in England, bang up for that.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't come back for any other fight, but this fight, it's a bit different. I actually don't like the guy, so it's easy to get up for a guy you don't like.
Because of this, what's happened in camp?
I just don't like fakes. I don't like fraud people.
What was your opinion about him before you went into camp?
I don't have any opinion. I was indifferent to everything, But I just don't like fraud people. I don't like fakes, Like, you're trying to sell you're selling wolf tickets. You're trying to sell a product that isn't really that way. You know what I'm saying? And you're going about it in an arrogant way, no less. I don't mind the arrogance, honestly. Sometimes we all need to promote ourselves, but don't sell wolf tickets. It's really, really something of an imaginary levels. Like this guy is like the biggest poser I've ever met. You know what I mean? It's all a fake. It's all a fraudulent thing. It's crazy. Like I was in camp with the guy. Like I was watching him train. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, and then you look at the public perception, and he's a wolf ticket selling master. It's crazy.
Do you think that Dana White, McGregor's team, are kind of looking beyond this fight and looking you possibly being in that picture?
In the beginning, I wouldn't have thought that way. I really wouldn't have. But then I saw how they went about doing things and the manner in which they did it. The pictures were released kind of with a timed thing, It wasn't like you released everything. You released one, then you wait about a week, and you release another. Then you wait about a week, and you release a video, So I think just when it's going to go die away, you make sure you keep it alive by releasing something else. So I think they've done this on purpose, and to the point where now I've started to realize when I step out and I look back, I say, these guys have a plan. This is something for them looking past this Mayweather
Premeditated?
fight. Yeah, this is something for them looking past this Mayweather fight. They're trying to sell something here. They're trying to build up to something here. Because this is, if it really weren't about me, you would have done this all at once. You would have let people talk about it once, and then it would have died out. Instead, you've found ways by splitting up the time to keep it alive through a longer process of time, longer period of time, And so then I start to look at the Zuffa boxing, and I start to see these guys are trying to get into boxing, and they want to start promoting a show. And, you start to realize, okay, it's starting to make sense. You can't have any part of the Mayweather fight because Mayweather's the ace and he dismantles everything and he controls everything. But you want to start Zuffa boxing off with a bang. You want to start it with a big promotion. McGregor and Malignaggi all of a sudden becomes a big promotion with all the beef you've done, all this beefing back and forth, all this media frenzy, all this social media frenzy even, I start to think about it and I say, it's starting to look more and more premeditated, especially, like I said, as I start to step out and think back on it, this was premeditated from the start. I just didn't see it that way, you know what I'm saying? This was something that they planned on.
I mean, from the various sparring partners that Conor had, you were clearly the biggest name out of that. And
I was the only name.
Yeah. So, and the footage, like I said, being released and it being you think that was all part of the same kind of thing, what you believe?
Absolutely, yeah. Because, don't get me wrong, I think the McGregor beef is genuine. I think, there's a dislike for us both. I think he genuinely dislikes me just like I genuinely dislike him. I think he was mad about the fact that I said he couldn't punch. He's not the softest puncher either. I just don't make things up. Like it wasn't like I went out of my way to tell everybody, hey, this guy can't punch. I was like, I was asked a question, and I answered it in an honest way, just like I try to answer every question in an honest way. So I said, no, he's not a major puncher. He's a good puncher. He'll get your attention, but he's not something like Thor's hammer. This isn't like something when you get hit and it's like Golovkin can hit you. It's not like that. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna give you something you want to hear just because it's what you want to hear when it's not true, So I think there was something he was offended by with that. So I think when I went down in the sparring, it wasn't very nonchalant. It's something, slip down, push down, slide, whatever it is that you go down in sparring. It happens hundreds of times. It happens multiple times a week, a day, even in any boxing gym, where guys go down that way, where it's not really a knockdown. When guys go down in the gym, you'll usually see reactions from the people outside the ring because it doesn't happen very often. Bigger gloves, headgears. Rarely doesn't happen. You have some excellent gym wars in some good gyms all around the world, but rarely does anybody ever go down. So when somebody goes down, there's usually a reaction outside the ring. Usually it's not a very nonchalant moment. Just the entire nonchalantness of that moment when you see the small footage that you see, even from the outside of the ring, from the nonchalantness of Cortez coming in and calling it no knockdown. Like, it was just like an average moment that they've just keyed on, and they've just made it into this big deal because there's enough suckers. Again, I'll use the word suckers because you're all suckers out there that believe into this, that fell into this, And I think he did this because I said he couldn't punch. So he's like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna say I can't punch. I'm gonna make it look like now I'm going to make it look like I made him pay a price for it. No, you still can't punch. The punch didn't cause me to go down. There was nothing that landed that caused me to go down. So you still can't punch. And even the edited footage from round 12 that he takes in and puts in the video that hits me with a big left hand, the punch doesn't even move me. And that's an exhausted me. Look, that shot couldn't even move me. Like, it's crazy. It's amazing. Like, the guy doesn't even punch a little bit, So I'm sorry to break everybody's bubble. Like, he's not going to be the puncher in this fight. Like, he's going to have to figure out other ways to win. I think with intensity. I think with energy. He's got to keep it within the rules and not throw so many rabbit punches and push downs of the head, because I think that'll cost him points. He does it so often. I mean, he panics inside so much. And granted, this is natural. It's not something. This is actually not a knock against him. When you're not a boxer, you get that close. There's a panic that comes into you. You automatically want to clinch or something because you don't know how to fight inside. And you're in range to get hit with every shot. So automatically, you want to grab a hold of somebody to protect yourself, So this is actually not even a knock against him because he's not a boxer, so his natural instinct is going to be to grab. But also, as a mixed martial artist, his natural instinct is to grab. So it's twice-fold, and twofold. So I think him always grabbing inside constantly, it's going to do two things. It's going to, one, get him warned and take points taken off, number one. But number two, it's also going to eliminate the one place he might be effective. Because on the outside, Floyd is going to be effective, not him. The inside is where he needs to be effective. And if all he does is hold and maybe hold down and throw a couple of arm punches, it's not effective. You need to do effective damage in there. You need to slow down your man. It's not just about points. It's about you need to just figure out a way to slow down your man, or at least take away some confidence in him. And none of this is going to take away the confidence of Mayweather. That's the problem. That's why you're all a bunch of suckers, because there's nothing here. Even his one spot where he knows how to get inside, he will get inside. If all he's doing is holding and pushing head down, there's nothing he's going to be able to do. They've taught him nothing in camp. They've actually worked on nothing. It's a joke. I was there. They worked on nothing. I'm looking at fundamental tactics. He'll have a bad round. They'll tell him he did great. I've never seen anything like this in my life. All they were missing was the pom-poms. That's all they needed. The Dallas Cowboy cheerleader outfits and the pom-poms, and they would have had it made, because that's basically what everybody's job was over there.
Ballpark figure, how many times do you think you got caught with clean shots in that 36 minutes?
I mean, listen, clean shots don't land very often. I'd say clean shots. I remember there was a left hand early on in the sparring, maybe like around 3 or 4. I was up against the ropes. I think there's a picture of it. I think there's a picture of it where he hit me with a sharp, clean, straight left hand. I think there was another counter left hand in the mid rounds. Off of one of my jabs, where I was actually surprised. I remember actually giving him, commending him. I say, "Oh man, all right, you show me a counter." It was like tongue-in-cheek type of thing. And then there was the big shot in round 12 that he landed. He might have done something on 11. I don't know. I don't remember that well, because 11 and 12 I know were good rounds for him. So he may have even done something in 12. As far as clean shots, that's about it. Those were about the clean shots he had. So. And as far as moments he controlled, you're not going to find any 30 seconds straight of him controlling anything, because that's why they needed added footage. You can't. If you gave a 36-minute beating, you can usually find even a minute straight of you dismantling a guy. You have nothing. You have nothing, and you have nothing. Like I said, he can sell a bunch of wolf tickets to everybody. He knows, and I know what happened there.
Just finally, because of what's happened with you regarding all this sparring, I know as professional as you are, is it going to affect your thought process this week talking about this, or not really?
Thing. I always break down X's and O's, and just like I broke down some X's and O's here, I think I bring it out tactically, and I show you, where he's in, and he's in as far as doing well tactically, and where he's out as far as doing bad tactically. I think from a tactical perspective, everything he does is wrong. He's been taught nothing. I think his intensity is going to be the key here, but his intensity needs to be brought forward in a manner where he's effective and not just being dirty, because the dirty stuff, if it's that obvious, you're going to get warned and you're going to get disqualified. So I think it needs to be brought forward in a way where it's effective and it's making Mayweather think, and it's making Mayweather a little bit defensive. I think Mayweather's approach here, I don't think Mayweather respects this guy as a fighter. I think to get Mayweather's respect, you're going to have to find ways of being effective and not just being rough inside. Ricky Hatton was rough inside. It didn't affect Mayweather. You're going to have to figure out a way to be effective inside in a different manner than just being so blatantly dirty that you're going to find ways to disqualify yourself. He doesn't have the biggest heart. I'm telling you right now, the guy doesn't have the biggest balls. He doesn't have when things aren't going his way, he's not as much bluster as you would think. And we saw in the Nate Diaz fight when he shot in. Think about it like this. The Nate Diaz fight, he had two options. You're in round 2, you're exhausted, you're tired, and Nate's coming on. You can try to stay on your feet for the next 3 rounds, and you may win because it's your best chance because you may land a big shot, but you're going to catch a beating doing it, trying it. You may stay on your feet for all 3 rounds and not land that big shot, so it means you're going to catch a massive beating for 3 rounds and still lose, so you're taking that risk too. But it's the one risk you have of winning the fight, so you might have to take a beating in order to try to win the fight. Or you can shoot in against the black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and be put right out of your misery right there. Find a way to end the misery right there. What did he choose? He chose the way out. That's my point. This guy chooses the way out. One thing to look for in this fight, he's not going to get himself disqualified with knees or kicks or elbows because that would cost him his entire purse. But he can get himself disqualified with rabbit punches, pushing down behind the head, things of more subtle nature of fouls. Fouls where now you don't say I quit. So when you don't say I quit, you can always blame somebody else, right? A lot of fighters in history in boxing, not a lot, but there's been fighters in history of boxing that have quit without quitting. You have guys who, like Andrew Galata against Riddick Bowe, he didn't want to be in there anymore. So he kept throwing low blows until he got disqualified. Because if you say I quit, you get a lot of criticism. If you get yourself disqualified, you can always blame the referee and make it look like it wasn't your fault, right? I think one thing to look for in this fight, because it's going to get bad. It's going to get really bad for him at a certain point. Will he tough it out, or will he find a way out? He's not going to quit. Is he going to get himself disqualified? Dana White himself confirmed he lost 2 points against me for pushing down behind the head and rabbit punching in our last sparring. Granted, they were 2 virtual points. They weren't points that were really taken off because there was no judges there. But Cortez was there to referee just like a real fight. You count knockdowns, you count fouls, you count everything. Granted, that's why the footage is edited so there's no count because he says no knockdown. Having said that, is he going to look for a way out when he sees that he's almost disqualified for fouling and say, you know what, let me just keep fouling and I'll end this fight right now. I'll put myself out of my misery. He doesn't mind putting himself out of his misery. We've already seen this character, and that's one thing that you cannot teach anybody. They either have it or they don't. We'll see what he has on Saturday night.
Paulie Malingnagggi, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV.
Cool, it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure, Coogs.
I
Always got
don't
time
think
for
you've
you.
ever refused an IFL TV interview.
And I never will, Coogs. A lot of these wannabe reporters are just that. But Coogs and iFilm TV. iFilm London or iFilm TV?
IFL TV.
iFilm TV. All right. You guys are the real deal. There's only a handful of real ones in boxing. This guy's one of them.
Thank you very much. Top man, Paulie.